In this video, I'd like to give you a brief overview of one of my favorite products, and that is the Phonak Marvel. And this particular hearing aid was incredibly well received when it was first launched. And that was because it ticked all the boxes. For many years, we were fitting hearing aids that in many respects were a compromise. Hearing aids had a lot of the things that we wanted, but we didn't really have any hearing aid that had everything. And when Phonak released the Marvel range of hearing aids, finally we really did have a product that ticked all the boxes. So what I'd like to do is just give you a brief overview of the product and give you an understanding of those boxes that it does actually tick and why the hearing aid is somewhat special. So I've got one here. This is a rechargeable one. So it's a reasonably small behind the ear hearing aid. It's a receiver in the canal, which means that there is a wire with a speaker at the end, or a receiver that sits inside the ear canal. So this piece sits over the back of your ear, and then this piece goes inside the canal. Now, these are a very comfortable style of hearing aid. There's not much weight on the body of the hearing aid itself. And the piece that goes inside the ear canal is very small, and it has a little soft dome with perforations on it. So this allows the ear to breathe, so it's not going to plug the ear. When you're talking and you're chewing, then the ear canal can compress, and because this is flexible, again, you'll hardly even know that the hearing aid is in the ear. So very, very good. Now, this hearing aid is a rechargeable hearing aid. And so it has a lithium ion battery. The whole unit is sealed, so there's no battery door. Now that helps from a water resistancy perspective as well. One of the biggest issues with hearing aids, certainly in a humid environment, is moisture being sucked in through the battery door. So in this particular product, no battery door. So the hearing aid itself just needs to be charged. This is the Phonak charger. And so you simply place the hearing aid into the charger when you're not using it. When you place it in the charger, it turns the hearing aid off. So from a handling perspective, you don't need to worry about opening and closing a battery door and having to turn the hearing aid on or off. You just simply place the hearing aid in the charger, that turns the hearing aid off. The little light comes on, and the light will tell you what the charge of the battery is. So if it's a yellow flashing light, if it's a red flashing light, it means you've got less than 10% charge. Yellow would be anywhere between 10 and 80%. A green flashing light is 80 to 99, and a solid green light is 100% charge. When you take the hearing aid out of the charger, you'll see the little green light starts to flash, and the hearing aid automatically comes back on. So there's no battery for you to ever replace in the hearing aid. You don't need to fiddle with small batteries, and you just need to put the hearing aid in the charger at night and take it out again whenever you're ready to use it. By the way, the battery charges very quickly. So a 3-hour charge will give you a full charge of the battery, which should last you roughly around about 20 hours of usage. Okay. Usage with a rechargeable battery does vary, depending mostly on how much streaming that you're doing. So if you're not doing any streaming at all, you should get at least that 20 hours of use. The more streaming you do, that battery life then will tend to diminish somewhat. Okay. Now just always make sure that when you put your hearing aid into your charger, that the charger is turned on and that there's a little green light on the back of the charger. Now, whether it's a Phonak hearing aid or one of the other brands, they all work very much the same way when it comes to the rechargeability. Nearly all of them today will use a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Now, the other thing that makes the Phonak Marvel particularly special is the connectivity. So over the years, there's been different types of connectivity. Originally, for a hearing aid to talk to a mobile phone, you needed a device called a streamer. So a streamer was a little gadget that you could either basically attach onto your lapel, or it would be a neck loop that you wear around your head. And that was an interface between your mobile phone and the hearing aid. And so if you wanted to answer the phone call, you'd push the button on the streamer, and you'd talk into a microphone that was built into the streamer. So the streamer basically took the Bluetooth from the phone, converted it to a different frequency that the hearing aids operated on. And that worked quite successfully, except for the fact that you had to wear a streamer. So it was another gadget that you had to carry around. So there's an inconvenience. And again, it was easy to lose. A number of the manufacturers, GN Resign was probably the first, and they were followed by companies like Starkey and Oticon and then Widex. And these companies developed products that were made for iPhones. So these were made in conjunction with Apple, specifically for an iPhone. If you didn't have an iPhone, then you would have to wear and continue to use the streamer. However, if you did have an iPhone, what you could do is you could answer your phone call on the phone, and the voice that the person that you were listening to would be streamed straight into your hearing aids. However, you had to talk into the microphone of the phone, so it wasn't hands-free. Now, this is where Phonak overcame that hurdle, and the product that they developed, the Marvel, to answer the phone call, and this is true of any type of phone. So it's not just an iPhone. So this will work with any Android, Samsung, all of those particular types of phones, and with the iPhone. To answer the call, you just simply press the button on the hearing aid. So you'll just do that. And when you talk, the hearing aid's microphone picks up your voice and transmits it back out to the phone. So the whole hearing aid, the whole system is hands-free. So if you're in the car, for instance, it's perfectly legal to be able to accept a phone call, just simply press the button and you're connected. In fact, if you're in the car, you've got the option. If you've got your phone connected up to the car system, you either answer the call on the steering wheel or on your console in the car. It'll go through the car's audio system, or you push the button on the hearing aid and it goes through to the hearing aid. And so you can have a private call, or you can have, in a sense, a public call when you're in the car. But this was a huge breakthrough because it worked with all mobile phones, and it basically got rid of having to wear the streamer. So major breakthrough, big advance. Phonak also upgraded their speakers. So these were all new speakers, and that was probably the first time they'd changed those in at least about 10 years. Major software upgrades. There was a new app that came out where you've now got a lot of flexibility in making adjustments to the hearing aid via the app. You can change the tone, you can change the clarity or the comfort setting, you can change the noise reduction, you can change the directionality of the microphones, you can set up specific programs for particular environments that you may happen to go in. But the real beauty of the Phonak system is that it's designed to be automatic, which means that the hearing aid has 7 unique programs which it will automatically select for you. So as you move from one environment to another, the hearing aid will automatically select a different program, a different combination of settings. So the frequency response may be different. The volume might be slightly different, and the directionality will be different, etc. So for instance, when you're in a quiet environment, then the hearing aid picks up sound from all around you. It's omnidirectional. As soon as you go into an environment where there's people talking and there's background noise present, the hearing aid then becomes directional. So the idea there is to be able to pick up the sound of the speech in front, which is where the person's normally talking to you from, and not pick up as much from around. Now with the top of the range hearing aids, of course, these hearing aids will create multiple beams, not just focusing in the direction in which you're looking. And so that makes the hearing aid obviously a lot more practical. And so a really superb product, new chip, really fast, so much more powerful, and the general sound quality has been quite superb. So we've taken hearing aids off people who maybe had a brand new set of hearing aids maybe over only 4 years ago, fitted them with the new Phonak, and absolutely loved it. So, you know, sometimes we find that when manufacturers bring out a new product, there's like a small facelift to the product. There's some type of minor change. It's nothing particularly dramatic, and it'd be very hard to, you know, pinpoint any significant improvement in the hearing aid. With this product, this is a significant improvement. Now, it's not just the Phonak products, by the way, which are improving at the moment. All the manufacturers are making major strides in terms of the performance of their products, plus bringing out new features, new ways of doing things. So the rate of change of the technology is increasing rapidly. So another reason why you don't want to spend too much on a hearing aid, because I'm finding my average client is tending to replace their hearing aids more frequently than what they did in the past. Now, if you're having to pay some exorbitant amount of money for a top-of-the-range hearing aid, you're going to be very reluctant to actually change that hearing aid for the latest model. It's going to be a fairly heavy hit to your pocket. However, if the hearing aids are a fraction of what you've been paying otherwise, it enables you to afford to be able to use the very latest technology.